This is a recording of exercise 21E, Sextus Can't Sleep, that you can find on pages 176 and 177 in your textbook. Sextus tamen nom abdormivit. Sextus, however, did not go to sleep. Abdormivit is perfect with a perfect stem, you can tell because of the V. Nam, for he was thinking, he was cogitating, de militis fabula, about the story of the soldier. Militis is genitive, fabula is the ablative object of de. Itaque, tiu. Therefore, for a long time, wigalabat. He was staying awake, and he was thinking cogitabat de allo mortuo, about the dead Alice. Tandem at last, inquit, he says, Marcus, in the vocative case, the US, of course, turning to an E. Tune timivisti ubi illam fabulam adivisti. Tune here is nothing more than the word to, meaning you, emphasis, and isti, of course, is the ending on the verb because the subject is you. So, were you afraid? Did you fear? Have you feared? Ubi, when adivisti, you heard illam fabulam, that story. Illam, of course, comes from ileila lud, which means that. Not to be confused with hic hoc, which means this. Said Marcus nihil respondit. But Marcus responded, did respond, has responded, nothing. Responded with an IT indicates that it is the IT perfect stem, perfect ending, isti it. If this were present tense, because respondeo, respondere is a second conjugation, it would have a present stem respond, identical, but then it would have the present vowel E and the present vowel T. Iterum marque, inquit. Again, he says, Marcus, tune calponum spectabas, were you watching the innkeeper? Iterum silentium, again silence. Deinde sextus, deinde, then or next. Then sextus, jam timidus, now timid, now afraid. Marcus, Marcus, he says, cur tu abdormivisti, why have you gone to sleep? Cur tu non vigilavisti, why did you not stay awake? And of course we have the double anaphora with the core and the two. Subito sonitum in cubiculo audivit sextus. Suddenly, Sextus heard a sound in the bedroom. Sonitum in cubiculo. O me miserum, oh poor me, the ablative of exclamation. Audivitne, sonitum aulus ille miser. Aulus ille miser is your subject. So, did, and the reason I'm saying did is because audivitne is perfect tense, and so therefore in English I'm going to use my question word did to indicate in the past and completed. So did that miserable Aulus hear, audivit, a sound, ubi calpo, when the innkeeper was preparing to kill him, eum necare? Calpo here does not have an ending, but it does have a long O. Sometimes people mistake it for dative or ablative second declension, but it is really nominative third declension variant. Qualis sonitus fuit. Qualis comes from qualis quale, which means what sort of. It, of course, asks the question, to which the answer would be talis tale, such or such sort of. So what sort of sound, fuit, was it, has it been, either one. Sonitum sextus iterum audivit. There you have an alliteration. So again, iterum, Sextus heard, did hear, has heard the sound. Oh, Eucleides! He's calling to Eucleides and addressing him, although Eucleides is not there. This is called an apostrophe. Cur ad cubiculum non dum venisti. Why have, perfect tense, you not yet come, non dum venisti, ad cubiculum, to the bedroom. Oh, pater! Remember that his father is in Bithynia, and so again it's another example of apostrophe. Cur me in Italia reliquisti. Why have you left behind me in Italia, me in Italy? Reliquisti comes from relinquo, relinquere, reliqui, relictus. That of course means to leave behind. Voluistine, ita me ad mortem mittere. Did you want, ita, in such a way, to send mittere, me ad mortem, to my death? In Asiam ad te ire volo. I want to go to you in Asia, or into Asia, in plus accusative. Ibi enum nullum est periculum, for there is, nullum periculum, no danger, said, but it is dangerous to live, habitare, here in Italy. A couple of things to point out. One, in line 11, note the difference between periculum, which is the noun meaning danger, and periculosum, which is the adjective meaning dangerous. And the other thing is that in the last part, of 11, that last clause, the subject is actually the act of living. It is the act of living, est periculosum, is dangerous. Multa se rogabat sextus. Sextus was asking, se, himself. Se comes from sui sibi se, and of course here it means himself because it was going to refer to the same as the subject. If your subject here were Cornelia, it would of course be Cornelia asked herself, but it's himself because it's Sextus. Sextus asked, did ask, was asking himself multa, many, neuter plural things. On the chart, that's where you would find that a ending. O, a orum is, a. It's the accusative. 4. Nam, quam puer temerarius esse solebat, although he was accustomed, soleo solere, temerarius esse, to be reckless, nunc now, medianocte, in middle night, at midnight, he was trembling, tremo, tremere, tremui, in cubiculo, in the bedroom. Itaque sextus, therefore Sextus, having been prepared. Paratus is the perfect passive participle of the verb paro, parare, paravi, paratus, and as such it is going to then be what we call the perfect passive participle. The fourth principal part is the perfect passive participle and translates having been verbed. So he, the nominative subject paratus, having been prepared, vigilare, to stay awake through the whole night, per totam noctem, diu ibi sedebant, for a long time he was sitting there. Quomodo, yam, how now? Quomodo means in what way, or it could also mean how. So how now? Possum as your verb at the end of the sentence. Am I able, effugere, to escape a manibus, out of the hands, scelesti, calponis, of the wicked innkeeper in the genitive. Sutne, omnes calpone scelesti, are all innkeepers wicked, scelesti? Perhaps, fortasse, the innkeeper, calpo, and then you go find your verb, habet, has in mind, nacare, to kill, back to the word may, and then the appositive, who the may is, a son of a famous citizen. Quam Aulus, aurum habuit, although Aulus did have, was having, habeo, habere, habui, gold, ego, I, however, tamen, nihil habeo, I have nothing, neque aurum, neque pecuniam, neither gold nor money. Pecuniam here, the word for money, originally comes from the word for cattle, or herd of cattle, meaning pecus pecoris, and indicates how, of course, the original type of money would have been the trading of livestock. Also, you get the English word impecunious, which unfortunately I find myself much too often, meaning without money. Ita cogitabat sextus. So Sextus was cogitating, was thinking, ita, in such a way. Iterum sonitum audivit. Again, he did hear the sound. He was afraid, he feared, temebat. But at last, said tandem, surrexit, he did arise, he the unwilling one. In Latin, they always prefer to have an adjective modify your subject. He, unwilling, did this, that, or the other. But in English, we would have preferred to take that word invitus and put a long e on it in Latin, thus turning it into the adverb, unwillingly. So unwilling, he arose, for nam volebat. He was wanting, inspicere, to inspect, omnes partes, all parts, cubiculi, of the bedroom. Mox tamen risit, which of course comes from redeo, redere, risi. So soon, however, he laughed. Ecce, look, sub lecto erat feles, under the bed there was a cat, obesa et semisomna, fat and half asleep. Prope phalum, near the cat, Sextus, saw, did see, has seen, from videre videre, weedy visus, for weed it, a murum mortuum, a dead mouse. Sextus muttered, did mutter, has muttered, non necesse est, it is not necessary, celare, to hide, hoc corpus, this body, sub stercore, under the manure. Hoc corpus particularly is a problematic word at times. When you look at it, you think that you see the US ending, but you don't. It is just the accusative that is the exact same as the nominative because it is a neuter third declension, corpus, corporis, and of course modified by the word hoc. Here Sextus is of course making this stupid joke that just like in the story you had a fellow who was dead or a thing that was dead that was hidden under manure, this will not be necessary to hide. Nevertheless, we're moving on to another recording, to 21G. This is a recording of exercise 21G from Ecce Romani. You can find it on page 180. Early next morning. Nundum lucebat, not yet was it shining, said Cornelia, but Cornelia ut solebat. Ut means as. We will learn later on in Latin that it can mean many other things, but for us here in Latin 1, it's going to mean as. Solebat from soleo solere, as she was accustomed. She jam solebat, she already now was getting up or got up. Tunicam induit, she did put on, induit, her tunica, et tacite, and silently, this is an adverb by the E, long E, a cubicula exit, she went out from the bedroom. You know that is went out because this is the verb ire, ee, which has an X on the front, but that double I, one of the I's is a perfect stem, the other is a part of the ending E isti it. She did go out of the bedroom, quod, because nolebat, she was not wanting matrum excitare, to wake up her mother. Out of the bedrooms of the inn, calponai, nothing, nisi, except silence. Here what is missing in an ellipsis is the verb erat. There was nothing except silence, but you can easily leave it out as we do in English all the time. Omnes adhuc dormiebant, all still were sleeping, said Cornelia, but Cornelia, pot erat, was able to hear a vocem ancillae, the voice of a slave lady, qua jam inculina laborat, who now was working in the kitchen. Please note the pot erat you can find on line 3. This is often confused with the pluperfect because it has the erat. This erat is merely the word erat with a pot prefix on the front of it, and not the ending erat that would have had to be put on a perfect stem, which for this verb, possum, posse, potui, it'd have to have a U to be pluperfect, so it's not pluperfect, but rather imperfect was able. Cornelia, therefore, Cornelia igitur, back to line 4, did approach, has approached ad culinam, to the kitchen, et feminam conspexit, and she spotted the woman. Dum Cornelia spectat, while Cornelia watches, is watching, does watch right now, the woman coquit cibum, cooks food, et cantat, and sings. We talked about it in class, but cantat is a frequentative verb. The verb originally was cano, canere, kikini, cantus. But if you take the fourth principal part of a verb and then turn it into its own verb, which in this case you take cantus, and you turn it in canto, cantare, cantavi, cantatus, frequentatives are very often first conjugation, o, are, awe, atus, it is going to indicate the same action, but with an implied frequentative nature. The most famous example is there in that same line earlier, conspexit, which is spicio, spicere, spexi, spectus. In and of itself, that verb means to look at, but when you take the fourth principal part, spectus, and turn it into the frequentative verb specto, spectare, o, are, awe, atus, of course, it is going to mean to look at over and over again, which in English for us then becomes the word watch. And so for us, in English, the word watch is a frequentative action, and thus indeed that's what is implied by these frequentative verbs formed from the fourth principal part. Cornelia intrat. Cornelia enters. Cornelia says, None tu es femina, certainly, surely, you are the woman, quae saltat, who dances. Again, saltat, another frequentative. Quid tibi nomen est? What is the name for you? A couple of things here. None expects a yes answer, the opposite of which would be num, and the other is going to be quid tibi nomen est. Tibi here is dative case, but it is your dative that can show possession. In that here, when it says what is the name for you, it's basically saying what is your name. And so it shows possession as a dative case. So dative can be used for indirect objects, reference, and then of course now, possession. Ita vero, the Ancilla says, thus truly, truly in such a way, saltatrix sum, I am a dancer. Me appellant lissam. Appellant is a new word in this chapter. Appello, appellare, appellavi, appellatus. This means to call or to name. An appellation is a name that someone has, and so therefore she says, appellant, they call me Elissam, Elissa. So she has the same name as actually Dido. Dido has an alternate name, which is Elissa as well. Quis est tu? Who are you? Cornelia then answers, Ego sum Cornelia. I am Cornelia. Quis te saltare docuit? Docuit comes from docere, docui, doctus, meaning to teach. And so she asks, who taught te, you, saltare, to dance? The Ancilla. Cum risu, with a laugh. When, go to your verb, habitabam, I was living in the city Gades. Gades is way on the west coast of Spain, so that's where she's from. It is the modern-day city of Cadiz. So when I was living in the city Gades, cum parentibus, with my parents, you see the word cum, you look to see if the next word's in the ablative. If it is, it means with. If there is no ablative, then cum means when, and it's introducing a subordinate clause. So with my parents, mater, and then you go to your verb all the way at the end, which is dokuit. My mother taught, go back to the me, and then you have a set of 3 infinitives to make a tricolon crescens. Taught me, saltare, to dance with castanets, crotales, to sing, cantare, facere, multa alia, to do many other things. So we also have an asyndeton here in which we do not have enough conjunctions. We should at least have one and, which we don't. Also, multa alia in that line is going to be neuter plural accusative, as it is the direct object and that ends with a. Cornelia then says, if you are a dancer, C2 saltatrix S. Cur cibum coquus, why do you cook food? Oh, quite the alliteration. Cur cibum coquus. The Uncula says, fortasse sum saltatrix, perhaps I am a dancer. Uncula, tamen sum. However, I am a slave lady. Here we have a classic chiasmus with both of the sums occupying the A, and what they are occupying the B, the saltatrix and the uncula. Cornelia says, to uncula S? You are a slave lady? Quomodo ad Italiam venisti? How, or in what way, for quomodo, did you come to Italy? The uncula says, piratae. Remember, the piratae are going to be one of the first declension masculine words. You have agricola, incola, conviva, pirata, scriba. There's a couple of others as well, but there are many words, well, not many, a few that are first declension, but yet they have a masculine gender. Pirata is one of them. Pirates, caperunt, capio, capere, capi, captus, captured, in this case, did capture, has captured. Me in Hispania, me in Spain, et ad Italiam tulerunt, and tulerunt, they brought. It comes from, as you can see at the bottom, ferro, ferre, tulilatus, quite the irregular verb in which the principal parts don't necessarily look similar to each other like others. So, and they brought, implied me, ad Italiam to Italy. Apollodorus, me in urbe, Roma, amit. Amit, of course, is a new verb as well. Emo, emere, amiemptus. The present stem em and the perfect stem em are the same, except for the fact that the e, which is long in the perfect stem, makes the difference. Therefore, if I were to take that verb that you see in the line 16, aim it, and I were to make that e short, it would be buys, is buying, does buy, instead of what it is, which is bought, did bought, has bought, me, may, in the city Rome. Cornelia says, Cur non fugis et ad Hispaniam redis. Why do you not run away? Why do you not escape? Non effugis and redis. Do you go back, return to Spain? Redis is, of course, from etus, which, of course, means to go, and it has an red on the front, which then is going to imply to go back. The Ancula says, Quomodo effugere possum? How or in what way am I able to run away? Nullos amicos in Italia habeo. I have no friends in Italy. Et ad Hispaniam sola redire non possum, and I am not able, non possum, redire, to go back, ad Hispaniam, to Spain, sola, alone. Sola is nominative in modifying our subject, I. Praeteria, please do not confuse the praeteria that you see then with the word praeter 2 lines below it. Praeteria means besides, and praeter, as we'll get to it later, is going to mean except. So besides praeteria, Apollodorus Dominus Bonus Est is a good master. Quod, because ipse he himself, fuit, was or has been, from sum esse fui, futurus has been a slave. Me numquam weberat, he never beats, is beating, does beat me, and he dot omnia. He omnia dot. Dot coming from, of course, do, dare, dedi, datus. He gives omnia, all things, quae volo, which I want. Cornelia then pipes in praeter libertatem, except freedom, or liberty, which of course comes from libertas, libertatis, and the Ancula agrees, ita vero, thus truly, praeter libertatem, except freedom. So that is exercise 21G. Hope you use it to your advantage. Please study. Thank you so much for listening.